Can you guys hear and see me okay? Okay, I think this is working, hopefully. Hi, can people hear me? Oh, you can see me. Okay, great. That's great. Thank you so much for confirming. Let me just post another story on Insta then with the right link, because that was a disaster. I had the same problem last time when I scheduled a stream in advance and that creates a thumbnail and everything. Then when I try to start the stream like that, it doesn't work as well as if I just like spontaneously click go live. Which is why for the 12-hour charity live stream I chose to just go live and not do a thumbnail in advance because I really didn't want this to happen. So yeah, let me just share the link because yeah, I don't want people to click on something that doesn't work. What photo will I use to attract attention? We took a photo of a robin earlier. Is that a robin? The thing with the orange neck. The birds. Let me check. Thank you guys for bearing with and for sticking by or sticking through it. Okay, that's it. That's me done with social media. Okay, so yeah, hello everybody and welcome to another stream. It will not be 12 hours and it will not be for charity, but I hope that you guys still will enjoy the company and the chat. As I've said, I'm going to be working on my Levi Pullover by Sari Nordlund, so I'll show it on screen. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but basically I had started the sleeve, but then I realized that there was a bunch of color work to do, so I've put that sleeve on hold to do the other sleeve. So that's part of the sleeve done, and then I've got to do color work now, so I've just picked up for the second sleeve, so that's going to be nice to already have half of a sleeve done when I finish this one. And I haven't actually tried it on since I bound it off. I have blocked the yoke, but I didn't block the body, and the yoke is kind of puckering right now. I don't have much faith in my colorwork tension. I'm struggling a lot with keeping it the same. I have the opposite problem of people where my colorwork tension is usually looser. So yeah, right now my yoke is huge and my body is like normal. But thank you for saying. Oh, thank you guys. I really like the colors. Anytime someone compliments me, I've got to say, like, I totally use the same colors as Handmade by Florence, because she was a test knitter for Sari Nordlund at the time, and she used those colors, and I fell in love with the low contrast. Like, I just thought it was so nice, and Florence and I have a pretty similar sort of coloring, I guess, and she was choosing those cool tone grays and beiges, and I thought that that would look really nice. One of the colors is called Oatmeal and one is called Limpopo, and then there's Marzipan, which I think everybody has heard of, like the color Marzipan from Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool. But yeah, I really like those colors, and there was supposed to be some color work on the elbow, but I'm not gonna do that, and then there's gonna be some color work before the cuff and then just the cuff. And yeah, it's kind of worsted weight, so hopefully this should be done next week. I've been on it with casting of sweaters. I don't know if you've been following me on Instagram or Discord, but I've kind of been sharing a bit of updates and progress. I had 8 active whips, which for me is a lot. Like, I have a lot of hibernating whips, but usually I just keep like maybe 4, 5 active ones. And here I just have like 4 or 5 sweaters and 4 or 5 accessories, which was too much. So I've been really good, instead of just like having a one off, one on rule of binding off and casting on, I've decided to like really clear the needles before casting on any other sweater. So I've cast off 2 sweaters and a bunch more accessories, and the next podcast episode is going to be really long. There's going to be 3 sweaters, finished objects, and yeah, it's going to be a long one, but I'm looking forward to it because the colors of all of those new sweaters are like really great. They're all blues and grays, so I've really been following my own advice and picking colors that like I know I like and I know suit me, as opposed to going for like the trendy colors on Instagram. But yeah, let me check with the comments. So thank you for the compliments. And Priscilla, you're working on sleeves. I hate sleeves. Yeah, it can be annoying, especially if like you have 2 sweaters on the go and you're at the same stage, then it's like 4 sleeves. Colorwork tension is always too tight. Yeah, I know it's an issue, especially for colorwork socks. I heard of the trick of like knitting it inside out to have the floats facing you on the outside, and I heard that was a really good idea. Working on the loom in Limpopo and Marzipan. Isn't Limpopo just the best shade? I'm actually thinking of... I've been accepted in a new test knit from Crea Bea, the Louder vest. It's like her new cable design. And I've been thinking of Peruvian Highland wool and doing it in Limpopo. And usually I don't buy the same color twice, because I just think that there's too many nice colors to experience in the world. But I think like it looks nice. It's not like too dark. The colors obviously here are weird because it's evening time for me. But I think it's not too dark that it still shows the cables. And it's not like a brown or a grey. It's kind of like in the middle. So I'm really thinking of buying some Limpopo and do a vest in that color. And I'm really excited. Other people here on Sleeve Island tonight. Finishing the last bit for sweater number 20. Oh, that's great, Stephanie. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see your final project in the thread on Discord. Someone asking how I knew that I was a summer. Actually, it was a person, a viewer, who commented on one of my videos saying, oh, I hope you don't mind me saying, but I think that you are such and such. And that was really nice. I think it was really nice to have someone say that as an outsider and give me that starting point so that I could go and look into it, because otherwise I was feeling overwhelmed, and I was kind of like, they give you tips on how to figure it out. Like, do you prefer cool tones or warm tones? Are your veins green or purple? Do you prefer silver or gold? And I was kind of in the middle of all of these, so it wasn't as clear cut in my mind. But then now that I kind of have put myself in a box, which I liked doing, like I was happy to be put in a box, I find it's been so much better making decisions instead of just agonizing for way too long. But yeah, if it turns out it was the wrong season, that's completely fine. I think they also say if you're a certain season, you can kind of go to the sister seasons, like the neighboring ones, and you can borrow colors from there. So that's fun. A lot of people here on Sleeve Island apparently working on vanilla socks. That's great. I think, yeah, I was really wanting stockinette for tonight. Like, I cannot multitask. In fact, I need to count my rows just to check I don't have to decrease. No, I'm good. Someone playing Yarn Chicken with a hat. Oh, it's nice that you guys are coming for the live. I was a bit nervous as always. It's like, oh, does anybody like these? Are people gonna show up? I know it's not the same as a knit night, but I think it's like a nice way to feel like you're part of the community and like you're doing it at the time that it's happening, even though I'm going to put this on YouTube afterwards if people are wanting to watch this in their own time. But obviously it's not the same as participating in the chat. But I'm also aware that, you know, if there's 100 people watching, there's probably going to be like 70 that are just lurking and they're not commenting, which is so fine. And I think it would be good to have that as background noise. I know Tiffany from Typical Bliss does live streams, but I don't actually know of many other knitting YouTubers that live stream. Let me know in the chat right now if you have any other recommendations of people that do that, because when I was kind of thinking about doing it, I was maybe in need of some advice or some tips, and there wasn't much to study on, or there weren't many people to take example from. So yeah, hopefully maybe paving the way for more people to want to stream in the future. Let me just cut my sound. I don't know if you can hear it, the sound of my like alerts and stuff. So yeah, let me just continue. Oh, someone is working on the Field Day by Ozetta. That's great. I really want to do that this summer. I've got a nice summery yarn. The Whitmore Cardi. Oh, that's great. I hope that you're happy with the fit of that project. Working on the muscle bra. Oh yeah, that is stockinette for miles and miles. The sweater you're wearing is a color that suits you. Thank you, Karen. We actually did a photo shoot today. I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but this was a test knit for the Crea Bea. It's the Rue sweater, and normally it has color work, but I decided to just do it in the blue. And at first I was maybe going to go for a navy, and then I thought, it was a bit like maybe like not exciting enough, and I thought like this is brighter and a bit more exciting. And I think my worry is that it looks a tiny bit too much like denim. Maybe I wish it was brighter or more saturated, but I think it's, I guess, safer that it's a bit of a more muted color. But it's definitely a nice pop of color, and in natural light it definitely is brighter. And it was really, really nice taking the photos today, and it was keeping me really warm. And I might take off this jumper at some point, but I was just feeling too proud of wearing it today. And I really like the fit. As you can see, like the line here, it's a contiguous saddle shoulder type construction, so you've got that nice like shoulder line, and then that nice shoulder line again, and there's a tiny little bit of a raglan, but it's not like the raglans that you've got those lines right there. So I really like the silhouette that this gives me, and I think that like the fit on the shoulder is just perfect. Like it feels like this was made for me, which is not always a feeling you get when you make a drop shoulder sweater from Petite Knit that has 40 centimeters of ease. And yes, this is a sweater that's blocking on my mat right now. It's a sweater from Petite Knit that has 40 centimeters of ease. It's going to be a different feeling when I wear that one. Someone is putting the step-by-step sweater on hold to borrow the needles. Ah, that's the problem, isn't it? We always have too many projects and not enough needles and cables. Let me check. Abigail is going to get a coffee, finish up some socks. That's great. Are you still doing sort of like one sock a month? I think, is that what you were saying you were doing? Decided to start summer knitting early. Oh my god, really? We were talking about that with Rebecca today, how she's trying to like design in advance of the seasons, but she doesn't really want to be casting on anything summery when we're in that kind of weather. It just feels wrong. But it would make more sense to do the spring and summer knits now so we can wear them when it gets warmer. Beginning in champagne cardigan, that is such a popular pattern, and with good reason. I'd like to redo my one with a different yarn, not mohair, maybe something like midnight sole or brushed alpaca like Sari. If I have a Sari quantity, which I do, I could redo the champagne cardigan 100%. I love it. Oh, the ranunculus. Abigail, I think you're definitely one of like the warm seasons, like autumn. Because I love the pinks and oranges that you wear on your podcast. I don't do gauge swatches in the rounds usually. I mostly do them flat, especially because at this point I don't do many raglans anymore. I usually do drop shoulders, and there's a fair amount of knitting flat in those ones, so the gauge flat does matter. But I'd still like to maybe stop and take a minute to think about my gauge and whether it changes flat and in the round with wooden needles or metal needles. I think it was part of what I was saying before with my knitting goals and everything, is slowing down and wanting to maybe spend more time thinking about those details instead of jumping head first. So yeah, I think I'd like to study my gauge more and be more precise with it, as opposed to always just riffing off and improvising and adjusting. It would be nice to like be really consistent and know what I can expect from my tension and whether it's in the round or not. Oh, good luck with your 6 sleeves then. Okay, let me just check. I think there's a bunch of... Oh, no, there's a bot. There's a bot for the stream. I need to disable that. I'll catch up with the chat and then I'll maybe go cancel it. But yeah, don't mind it. That was from a previous stream. Oh, you're using Gilead for the late summer wrap. Oh, good luck. I think it's quite a different yarn, so I hope that it works out for you. But I really like Gilead. Chestnut sweater, first sock. Okay, so everybody's doing socks or sweaters. Oh, hi Flaminia. Good luck with your exams and studying. I hope you do well. And yeah, the photo shoot went really, really well. New colors that suit me. Well, apparently I would suit like a banana yellow, or chiffon is what they call it, but I really, really don't like yellow, so I'm not gonna... I'm saying that now. I don't think I'm gonna go for yellows ever. Like, I would never go for like a whole sweater. If you follow Handmade by Florence, she has recently-ish made one in Peer Gynt in that banana color, and it does suit her really well, but I really don't think it's a nice color that like I'm attracted to. Like, she was obsessed with it, and it was so funny realizing how preferences are different for people, because I was just looking at that, like, that is never a yarn I would buy for myself. But it looks great on her, obviously. My Yarny Corner does a live dye. Oh, that's cool. Colette Pullover. Oh, that's great. That's a really nice pattern. I was thinking of maybe getting the Colette scarf, I think, that she came up with. No knitting time for you. Guests are arriving soon. Oh, you're cooking and hearing this. That's nice. Yeah, I was wondering if anybody was going to maybe do some kind of like chores and things. That's what I would maybe do if I wasn't knitting. New subscriber, finished watching the gifting guide. Oh, that's nice. I was wondering if anybody was going to watch those videos after Christmas, but it's definitely still relevant for birthdays and anything, like all throughout the year. I really stand by that wish list, by the way. That wasn't made in the spur of the moment, like for Christmas. Any of those things that I haven't gotten or still don't have, I'd probably just resend that list to my family members for my birthday in July. The Memba dress. Oh, that's nice. I know someone else is doing that right now. Someone is knitting some chickens. Oh yeah, the grocery girls are doing live streams apparently. That's nice. Thank you everybody for sharing what you're knitting on. It's really nice to see all the variety, and I feel like nowadays I feel like I know every pattern, and I know this is going to sound so presumptuous, and I definitely don't know all the patterns, but so many of them are so familiar, and I love the fact that a huge portion of my brain now is full of information about knitting. It's crazy how 2 years ago that wasn't the case, and now there's like a huge amount. And same for my boyfriend. He knows all the designers and all the patterns and the lore and the drama. Like, his brain has now unfortunately also had to absorb a huge amount of knitting knowledge. Oh, someone is knitting sibling sweater for grandchildren. Have to make 6. That's huge. Good luck. Oh, you're making the elder sweater. That's amazing. What colors are you doing? Sycamore sweater, make it as a dress with 5 colors. That's amazing. I made the sycamore sweater and I really liked it. Although I don't like the turtleneck on me anymore. I don't think it suits me. And again, it looks great on people with the big rolled necks, but I think it makes me look like too, like I have no neck, which I guess is the point, isn't it? But I like the double folded necks. I think I like the funnel necks. I'm still in two minds about whether that suits me or not. I definitely like them on other people in photos on Instagram, and then I'm like, do I look like that though? Oh, I look good in blue, thank you. The sweater right now here is made of the Fiber Co. Lore in the color Calm. And believe it or not, in this uni version, which is kind of cropped, like a little bit cropped, I used just over 3 skeins. So if you cropped it a little bit more, I think you could make it with 3 skeins, which makes it so much more affordable, because the yarn itself is not like the priciest, not the most affordable either, but it's really good quality. It doesn't pill. I'm quite sensitive and I can wear this next to skin, especially outside. Like right now I'm getting warm, but when I was outside today, like, it was so good, and it made me really happy that I have a couple more sweater quantities of Lore. So I can really recommend it. Rebecca used that one for her sample, and I can see why it works really well with color work as well. It's a bit more grippy than some of the like Cascade 220 and such. So yeah, if anybody wants to get the Fiber Co. Lore, you should. Some of them are kind of flat and some of them are heathered and have nice dimension. Yes, Abigail, you're finishing your January socks. And then are you gonna just make vanilla socks in February? Do you not do like patterns? I think you quite like your vanilla recipe, don't you? You've made a few. Working on the color of your chestnut sweater. Oh, we have 2 chestnuts now. Instant Crush and the Ingrid. Oh, I would like to do the Ingrid, but I have heard things about the sleeve chart is a little tricky to incorporate the decreases on the lattice section. Has anybody done this? Oh, you're knitting in Dusty Banana just now from Knitting for Olive. That's so funny. I told Ross about the colorway Dusty Banana from Knitting for Olive, and he was like, there's no way that's an actual shade. But it is. He really, it's like his pet peeve is that Knitting for Olive calls a lot of their shades dusty. And I keep on saying like, but that's the perfect way to describe them. It's like muted. And then he says, just call them muted then. Muted blue, muted grey. And it's like, no, it's dusty dove blue. You don't understand. It's called fashion, sweetie. Look it up. No, I really like color names. I think, is it Sendless Garn sometimes that doesn't necessarily put the color names, they just put numbers, and it's like, oh come on, you could make us dream. Oh, zipper sweater, that's great. Oh, with wool stock. I've never heard of that, I don't think. Wanting to start on the Arctic Light. The anchor tee. Oh yeah, I would like to do the anchor tee. Is that the one with like the ribbing radius thing? Not the Sunday, but like the alternating ribs. I think I want to do that in Tin Linne by Sendless Garn. I think Abigail actually from Abigail Makes Stuff. She made the anchor tee and she added short rows. I think she wrote the process out on Ravelry, so I'll definitely go check out her notes to incorporate short rows, because at this point in my knitting career, there's no way I'm ever going to make something without short rows again, if I can help it, because like I really don't want to end up with garments that I keep having to adjust. And I'm going to usually try to buy patterns that already have the short rows included, because I'm not that confident. I feel like at this point in my career, I should be better at improvising and going off the books, but I still really much prefer to just follow patterns. Like that's what I get the most enjoyment from. I know a lot of people like problem solving and such, so all the power to you guys if you're in that category. Oh, the Calyx cardigan by Erlan, that's beautiful. It looks really cozy. Yeah, if I look anything in lighter yellow, it makes me washed out. I love mustard on other people. Like, I love the look of dark brown hair on mustard. That looks amazing. But I know I would never pull it off. Oh, someone is working on the Jeju sweater by Egyo Knitwear. Is that how you say it? Egyo. I think someone told me that's how you pronounce it. Is it Korean, I think? But yeah, the Jeju sweater, is that the one that looks like those like prep school uniform? It's not plaid and it's not gingham. What is the name of that motif, if anybody knows what I'm talking about? Oh, the agnet cardigan with Christmas gift yarn. That's amazing. What color are you making the agnet in? Black isn't my color, but I will look good in black lace type, like the Barbaro. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I still do really like wearing black, especially like ready to wear wears. But I think maybe I'll try experiment with makeup that isn't black as well, like gray eyeliner or brown eyeliner. I'll try and find it, but it's kind of hard to find non-black makeup. Someone is crocheting. Oh, the Sophie's Dream. I've made that. I love that blanket. I made the winter colorway. I love it so much. Are you making the summer version? It's such a fun pattern. If anybody crochets, do the Sophie's Dream. It's so much fun. And it's like a masterpiece. I love that project. Oh, the Ricky socks by Yuka. Well done. That's a commitment. Pearl jacket. I think I want to do the pearl jacket actually. I was hesitating between the pearl sweater and the pearl jacket, but my boyfriend convinced me that the cardigan would be better to wear. So yeah. Oslo hat, that's perfect. I miss making hats. I haven't made an Oslo or a muscle bra in a bit, like in a month, which for me is too long. I've been making Oslo hats, muscle bras, and penny gloves like by the dozen. I don't know what came over me, but I've just been churning out all those accessories and wearing them. I actually love having all of those possible colors depending on like the mood and the outfit. Oh, the stick season, that's beautiful. I love Penelope, that is amazing, by Derorum Natura. It's a really great yarn. It's so soft, it's got like 10% silk. They have a fingering weight Albertine, which unfortunately I cannot get in the UK, I don't think. I could, I think, order directly from Derorum, so I might one day, but I think their colors are really great, and I'm always on the lookout for a nice fingering weight yarn so I can do a fingering weight sweater, because so far the 2 fingering weight sweaters I have are with Kinross 4-ply, which I stand by it, favorite yarn in the whole world for fingering weight, I think I would say, yeah. But I can't do all my fingering weight sweaters in that yarn, like I need some variety, so yeah, if anybody has some really, really nice and soft fingering weight yarn recommendation that doesn't break the bank either. I think Safira by Pasquale is also meant to be really, really soft and nice, but it is quite pricey. Then yeah, hit me up with recommendations, because I'm definitely in the mood to do more fingering weight sweaters this year. I think I love the drape of them, and I like that they're usually a bit more fitted. They're not like too oversized, and it just makes me feel very elegant. Trying to finish a Christmas gift. Ooh, nobody will tell. It's okay. Hello. Doing some spinning. That's great. And now you're knitting the loom. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love the loom. It was a big success last year. Cat Weaver. Nice to join someone else who knits. Yeah, I think it's so great that there's like so many of us who just like knitting and like talking about it. I think a lot of us, not everybody of course, but like a lot of us, when we do something, we do it like 100% and we totally jump into it. Like knitting has become such a huge part of my life, and even without the podcast, like I was just knitting nonstop beforehand, and like just obsessed and like wanting to talk about it all the time, which is just also why I took up YouTube, because it was like I need an outlet, like I need a way to express all those thoughts, and I thought it would make me speak less about knitting, but it doesn't. I still talk the exact same amount about knitting day to day. Someone doing a vest number 1 in Dusty Artichoke. Yes, Dusty Artichoke, that's a perfect one. I don't think I've told that one to Ross yet. I think he will like that there's Dusty Artichoke. Ross is funny. Is he knitting anything for you yet? No, guys, he hasn't picked up a needle since the stream. I know we were all getting excited and thinking that that was it. We had created a new knitter, and he was really good at it. He picked it up so fast. There was no cheating or anything. But I don't think he has that pull towards the craft. But yeah, it would be really cute. If he could make me a hat or something, I would definitely cherish that. I recently gifted him my Oslo hat. So if I could convince him to knit me an Oslo hat, that would be so cute. Okay, new idea. I will tell him that later. Let's see, what else? We need a woolly worker boyfriend knitting podcast. Yeah, I know. He was so happy that, like, it went well when he came on the stream. Like, if you weren't there in the 12-hour live stream, at some point I went away for a bit to have food. So Ross kind of kept the chat, like, entertained and was talking to you guys, and I didn't want it to be, like, just dead silence for 20 minutes, so he stepped up, and he was so sweet. He was a natural. People loved him. So, like, yeah, I was really proud of him, and he enjoyed it as well. Like, it wasn't a chore for him, and I felt really, really lucky to have someone that's, like, so supportive of the hobby, and, like, is encouraging, and he gives me a lot of ideas behind the scenes as well. So yeah, shout out to Ross. He doesn't watch the streams or the videos for that matter, because he already hears it all in person, so yeah, shout out to him. Just working on the Ingrid sweater sleeves, wondering how to make the decreases. Yeah, I think if you look on Ravelry and you sort them by most helpful, some people may have been able to write some actual charted decreases or something, because a lot of people have done it, so I think somebody has definitely done that work already for us. Ooh, and I've just reached the round where I've got to make decreases without going over, so let's just make one little decrease here. And mark it with a stitch marker. Okie doke. Let's see. Oh, God. Oh, you're doing a mini cal with your mom with the Monday sweater. That's so cute, and that's going to be really nice. Someone is doing the Calliope by Sari Nordlund. Is that from the new book, Knitting Softly? That's really great. I can't wait to cast on a project from that book. They're also beautiful. Is the Calliope the lace yoke one from the cover, maybe? I really, really like that. What else? Aosta cardigan for a baby. That's really nice. Penny gloves. Yes, I have penny gloves on the needles right now. Moby sweater in blue. Traveler hoodie in dark olive. Oh, that's great. I really like the traveler hoodie, but I don't know if I want to do the process of it. It would definitely be like a final product knit. Oh, Makeup Junkie, you can find eye pencils from NYX or L'Oreal. Thank you. I'll definitely take a note of that. In fact, let me take a quick photo of that because otherwise I'll forget. Thank you so much. Oh, Argyle, thank you. Thank you, guys. That's exactly the pattern I was thinking of. Knitting a shawl, knitting the storm sweater. Oh yeah, I do like the storm sweater, but I don't trust my purling tension to not be a mess. I feel like she does her pearls really tightly, which looks really nice and tidy. But anytime I'm doing some kind of like knits and pearls texture in a pattern, I'm not doing well. So I'm kind of worried about doing the stick season sweater because I love the way it looks, but I don't think mine would look great. So yeah, I'm still at the point where I'm trying to improve my ribbing, and right now what I've been doing actually on this project is I've like done a German short row and turned before doing the rib, so my rib is all inside out. And I'll show you on the neck how tidy it looks. So you might think like this is twisted rib, but it's not. It's just normal rib, but inside out. And I've done the same on the body. And I really like it. I don't know if anybody else does that. And it's not hard at all to do the German short row. Like if you've done the Oslo hat, it's exactly the same thing. And it doesn't leave a gap or anything. So yeah, I think I'm going to just keep doing that. The only thing is that then the Italian bind off is on the reverse side, but it kind of looks symmetrical either way, I think. So yeah, no reason not to do it at this point, except forgetting. So yeah. I think I've caught up with the chat. Yes. I don't know if I would want to learn other techniques for knitting, like Norwegian or Portuguese purling. I feel like it would be a big commitment because I don't know about other people, but you know, like when you try to get into a new hobby and you're disappointed in yourself if you're not immediately great at it, and then you give up. So thankfully that didn't happen with knitting, but I feel like if you learn a new technique for knitting, or like if you learn a new way of knitting, it's like learning to knit all over again. And I'd be frustrated, but then part of me knows that if I want to improve my skills, then yeah, I should be more flexible. So for example, my color work, I've been really unhappy with it lately because it's so loose. And I'm doing color work with both yarns in one hand, and it's like, at this point I probably just have to face the fact that if I want to improve, I have to put the effort in, like it just won't magically happen, and at this point practice doesn't make perfect for me. So I think maybe I will this year try new techniques. I was doing combination knitting for ribbing one time. I tried to do that, you know, when you have those big panels of like 5 stockinette, or 5 knits, 2 purls, 5 knits, 2 purls. It can become a bit loose, or like 3-4 or 4-4. The first purl or the first knit after some purls can look bad. And a way to avoid that is to like twist the pearls and then you untwist them in the next round or something like that. Basically you purposefully twist your stitches and then you untwist them, and I think that's called combination knitting. And I tried it and it did look neater, but boy did that round take me an hour to do. I was so slowed down. It was a surreal experience of things not being done as fast as they usually do. And yeah, I think to come back to the point though, I would probably like to learn a neater way for me to do ribbing, and also a less laborious one, because I was just doing a hat here with 5 inches of ribbing one by one and I hated it. I wasn't enjoying that at all, and my ribbing doesn't look good. So I think I definitely need to learn new techniques and new skills, because otherwise if I'm just repeating mistakes all the time, or like the wrong way of doing things, then yeah, I'm just going to be stagnating just out of laziness or inaction. But I'll do it when I'm in the mood for it. I'm not going to put homework on myself or anything. Someone does half twisted rib. Yeah, although the half twisted rib definitely looks different than ribbing. Like sometimes it's a design element, and I'm not always looking for the look of twisted rib. But I know like if you twist your pearls and not the knits, that makes everything look neater, but not necessarily different than normal rib. But I really don't want to be doing half twisted rib for my pearls only. That's just sorry, I hope I'm not saying anything too controversial or yucking anyone's yum. That's a weird sentence. Andrea Murray just released 3 videos of knitted pearls with combination knitting. Oh, I'll look her up. I really like her videos. Just followed one for her tubular cast on, and it's just perfect. Okay, Norwegian pearl is easier. Thank you everybody for the recommendations then. Portuguese, you can use it just for the pearls. Oh no, somebody realized that they were twisting the stitches. Yeah, no, I'm glad that you realized, because that definitely would be a problem in the future if you didn't know what was wrong. Did you learn from YouTube maybe or something like that? Because then you don't realize if you get into bad habits. Yeah, Calliope is on the cover. Ooh. Oh, your cat is named Calliope and she loves yarn. That's so cute. Twisted pearls is a nightmare, yeah. Smaller items help me get the hang of new knitting styles. Oh yeah, good idea. Maybe an Oslo hat. No, that doesn't require any purling whatsoever. What is a small accessory that has pearls? Maybe the stick season hat then, because that will be good to get used to that texture. Do the ribbing now knitting through the back loop. Yeah, it looks better. Had to frog a week's worth of knitting because one of the main colors were a different dye lot. Oh no. See, nowadays when I get yarn from the shops, I never really check if it's the same dye lot. I always kind of assume that they gave me the same dye lot. Because sometimes I have shops email me to say, oh, you've just placed an order of like 6 balls of this. We only have 5 in the same dye lot. What do you want to do? Which I think is really nice for... It's nice of them to mention that, because I would kind of just assume that they would send me what they have in stock. So yeah, I appreciate when they go the extra mile to say that, by the way, they're not the same dye lot. One of them one time then offered to send me the yarns at a discount because they didn't have the same dye lot. And then another one said, I have a delivery coming soon. Do you just want to wait for that? So yeah, that was nice. Very Pink Knit has a video about 2x2 rib. Tugging after the purl stitch. Yeah, I remember in my swatch where I was trying different techniques, I did try the tugging method, and I also found that that was really slow because I had to remember to do that. But I think it must be the kind of stuff that you get used to and you get like the muscle memory for it after a while, as opposed to always having to remember. I guess for color work, I'm always used to now like spreading the stitches that I've just made to loosen everything up before knitting with the contrasting color, and my color work is anything but loose. Is that how you say it? So yeah, learning new techniques and making them part of your muscle memory is definitely a good goal to have. 52 weeks of socks. Rosa Pomar Cara Pin are bulky weight socks and mainly purled. Ooh, that's good. I don't have any bulky weight sock yarn, but I have DK. I've knitted 5 jumpers this week. Wow! Need to get them finished tonight. Yeah. Okay, well, you guys have definitely motivated me to try new techniques, especially with the purling, because I've been complaining about my purling a lot and my looseness and blah blah blah. So I think it actually is time for action to take place. Yeah, even if that slows me down, that's completely fine, and I hope it works and I hope it's rewarding, but if not, at least I'll know that I don't like it for real. We were talking earlier about intarsia and how that also is like not hard per se, but then it affects your tension. So that's the hard part about it. Okay, I'm going to drink a little bit and then just check Instagram because I got messages and I hope people aren't trying to get on and stuck. Okay. No, it's good. But yeah. Oh, actually, what I'll do is I'll turn off the bot if you guys don't mind, because this is really annoying me. And it's not professional. Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay. Timers? Yes. Oh, guys, I did it. Disable. Yay. Okay, great. I hope that stops it. But yeah, were you guys at the 12-hour charity live stream? It feels weird that was in the same month as now. January is such a long month. I can't believe it was like 4 weeks ago now. Yeah, it was obviously like a lot of work beforehand, a lot of work during, and then afterwards I had a lot of things to do. Like I had to email a lot of people, send out prizes in the post, thank like the donors, the sponsors and everything. And after the stream was done, my motivation really dipped. Like in my mind I was like, that's it, I've done the hard thing, I've done the 12 hours, this should be like the end. But there were so many tasks to do after and I just wanted to be done. So yeah, obviously when you do a project you really should see things through all the way to the end. I guess it's kind of the same with knitting. When you're done with a sweater and then you're like, oh, you've got to block it and you've got to take measurements and write your notes on Ravelry and weave in the ends, etc, etc. Like sometimes you do the last stitch. Even binding off can be a chore on its own. But then, yeah, there's a lot of tasks to do afterwards. But that's something else that I was saying in my goals video for 2024 is like spend more time on the finishing touches. Like I've always been good at weaving in the ends, but I think sometimes what I don't do is like I rush through things. But something that I want to do, for example, this year is make like bags or pouches, like the winter clutch from Petite Knit, or there's a backpack I want to do that requires lining. And it's something that I would usually avoid because I don't want to be doing all the finicky things that aren't knitting. So anything that's like construction and everything. So I think this year I'm definitely going to be tackling making bags and pouches because I don't want to let my laziness get in the way of what I want. I think it's not something I'd be proud of, you know, like, oh, why don't you have any bag? Because I'm too lazy to make one, as opposed to just saying like, I can't make one because I can. I just am too lazy to. And I don't like that. So I want to make more things. I think that's also why I stopped liking crochet as much, because it requires so much finishing work. Actually, I'll show you a little sneak peek at something that I've done. This week we went to see The Little Shop of Horrors. It's a musical. We went to see it twice. We went on opening night and then on the closing night. And I wanted to bring a prop to it, so I made a little Audrey 2 in crochet. So here it is. Ah! So if you've seen the show, you know Audrey 2 is a carnivorous plant. It's an alien plant from another world, and she is always hungry and she wants you to feed her blood and people. Spoiler alert, I guess. So that's her mouth, and she's always like, feed me. And she's got a dowel here, so that's what I was talking about with like the construction. This was like a few hours of crochet, but so many more hours of sewing. It's got veins sewn in here in the purple. And the leaves were obviously sewn in, the lips were sewn. There's a dowel, and then like there's cardboard in the mud, and then it goes into like the plant pot, which I must say like fits perfectly. It's really snug. So I brought this to the theater and I was like having it next to me as a prop. It was so great. Like people were like saying, oh, like it's Audrey 2. So yeah, that was worth stressing about this deadline, which was completely self-imposed. But I don't do a lot of crochet. Like that's going to be my crochet for this season, and then maybe I'll do another Pokemon or something. Last year I did a Snorlax and a snake plant in crochet, and those were the only crochet things I did, even though on my YouTube description I say like, this is a channel about knitting and crochet. Those are lies. It's mostly knitting. But yeah. Yeah, let me check. So yeah, you guys were here for the stream. I know, Melissa, Elliot, thank you so much. Who else? Claire, Rue, Chris, Darcy, thank you guys. I was shocked at the number of people who told me afterwards that they went back to look at it. Because like I say, I feel like streams, you kind of like have to be there. But I know people can't always make it for a lot of different reasons. But I didn't think there were going to be that many people who then would go back. And then some people have said that they watched the 12 hours afterwards, which blows my mind. But I think a lot of that was due to having amazing guests and like activities, especially towards the end. I was really hoping to entice people with fun, interactive things, and I think it worked, and it was so fun. And I'm not saying that it's going to happen again this next year or whatever for like my next anniversary, but I'm not saying it won't happen again, so we're still undecided. You like January as a month. You like how everything calms down. That is so true, actually. There is a quietness and stillness to January. It's been really bad weather-wise in Scotland, though. Like, we've had 3 storms, and it's been so cold, and so windy, and so rainy, and dark. I would really like a bit more daylight and sun. Like, I don't even mind if it's cold, but if it's sunny, that's just, like, lighter for everybody. And for photos, obviously. Yes, for 9 hours. Thank you. Blocking the stick season. The stick season was made in that rusty orange from Rebecca, and then the linen. And I love that on her. It's not my color for like the orange. I was thinking of doing a stick season in navy. I've not seen that many people do it. I've seen a few people do it in dark green, which I also really like. But I think I'd really like a navy stick season sweater. But now it's about finding the right shade of navy that's not too dark, that it completely hides the texture. But I'm excited to see more people do it. I'm following the hashtag on Instagram because I want to get inspiration, which is one of the main reasons why I keep Instagram, despite like all the bad things associated with it, is that it does show you a nice amount of projects that can ignite something in you or inspire you. The Boulevard bag, yes, it looks really, really cool. It has like the boucle, which I'm gonna try and maybe get some cheap one from Drops to make the bag, I think. Oh, I'm glad you guys liked the plant. Oh, you did a Mandragora from Harry Potter. That's great. I love crocheting house decor. Someone found me through the Knitting Flops video and it was inspiring. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that video did really well, surprisingly. I was not expecting that. And yeah, if you're coming from there, then thank you for trusting me with your free time. My mom is coming over to visit at some point next month, and I'm gonna be giving her some of my flops. Like, she saw the video and she messaged me. She was like, don't give them to people, give them to me. I want them. I will wear them. And I was like, of course, you can have them. Because some people also told me with the flops, like, don't make any rash decisions. Maybe you'll feel differently about the knits in like a year or two, which is also possible. And then some people had the opposite idea of, if you don't like them, get rid of them. No time for clutter. And I also like that way of thinking. So yeah, different philosophies of life. Oh, hi Marlene. Oh yes, there is the bot is a bit too zealous with muting or like deleting messages, but I'll change that. I forgot to do that. Sorry about that. You love Audrey. It's much easier to crochet cute things. Oh yeah, for sure. I knitted the little elephant and the little penguin and the little frog. I had a knitted animal period, and I liked them, but they were very finicky. And I feel like you can't do as much. Like, you're still quite restricted and limited. But I know there's a cute book of little knitted stuffies, which could be nice. Friends? Moosh and Friends? I think, is it Lina magazine or like Lina Publishing that sells that book? I've been recommended it a few times. The movie is one of your favorite things. It's so cute. Oh, well, yeah. I found the pattern on Etsy if you guys are interested, but I'll talk about it in the podcast. Winding and skinning your handspun while watching. Oh, that's great. Is that the one you're going to use for the shawl? Pia, you're very hyped for summer knitting. Really? Is it particularly warm where you are, or... Oh, the stick season in pink. Yes. I don't think I've ever seen that one either, so paved the way for fun colors. It's good that mohair is losing popularity. More for me. Yeah, I think when I said I was gonna do less trendy stuff and so stop using mohair, someone commented to say that now it was trendy to not use mohair, and like a lot of people were saying that, and I was a bit not shocked, that's too big a word. I was surprised because I haven't actually heard that many people say that they're gonna stop using mohair. But if you guys have any recommendations of like podcasters or people who are good at using alternatives, or like if they have sensitive skin and then they always say that they're careful about that. I know Caroline's Knits, for example, she used to have sensitive skin, now maybe a bit less. So I know she was a good source of inspiration for mohair free garments. But if you know of anybody else who's avoiding mohair, let me know and I can hit them up. You're watching my intentions video and I said I was sticking to the Scottish festivals. Come to Yarningham in July. Is that in England? Where about? If it's in the north of England, I might, but I really don't like long journeys. Oh yeah, Young Foot Knits. Of course, she doesn't use it. I think she did her Farnham sweater in Midnight Soul, which I thought was a great idea, and I really liked her version. So yeah, she's definitely a good source of inspiration for that. You saw me at the Glasgow School of Yarn and we talked a bit. Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, no, thank you for coming. It wasn't a bother at all. It's really, really nice to see people like in person and kind of having proof that like real people exist and real people are watching the videos as opposed to just like names on the screen. So yeah, if you ever see me at the festivals, like come and say hi, and if we have interacted before on Instagram or on YouTube, like let me know, because I'd love to be able to like put two and two together and link names and faces. But yeah, I cannot wait to go to the festivals. I'm so bummed. I don't think there's any in February. Like it's still March is the first one, so I'm really gonna oh, I'm so hyped. And I was saying to friends earlier as well that I'm not going to make it all about purchases. I think what would be nice as well is to focus a bit more on the talks maybe and workshops as opposed to like buying yarn. So yeah, I think one of them she offers like a spinning workshop with her wheel, and then somebody was doing like talks on sheeps and UK breeds, which I found that super interesting last time that I like read about it. One was doing it on Angora fibers, Angora goats in Scotland. Yeah, that was really nice. So definitely going to try and learn more about knitting instead of like purchasing, because purchasing yarn was kind of becoming my hobby as well. I think maybe we could replace some of that with learning about wool as another hobby, which would still be something that I spend time on. That's not necessarily knitting. Like I do project planning as like a big chunk of my day is spent on Ravelry, which is the healthiest of the social medias. Like it's not full of bad news or self-loathing as other social medias can be. So yeah, maybe learning more about fibers and everything, like the talk that Rachel from Night Sky Knitting or Woolsey Knitting, she did a talk on the 12-hour charity live stream, and that was so fascinating. So yeah, and I kind of forgot about that goal. I guess I should have put that in my video, but I'll write it just for my own personal goals as I want to learn more. Let's see. Oh no. Well, it's okay. If you just are at the rib and it's only one stitch difference, so I don't think it would matter. Just you knit two together and nobody has to know. Germany is cold and grey. Then maybe if you're knitting summer knits, you're kind of just like putting yourself in the mindset of it's gonna be warm soon. I only used mohair once for my mum's vest, never again. Yeah. Oh, even Sari alpaca you don't tolerate. That's a shame. I really, really like Sari. I think somebody was talking before about the difference between brushed alpaca and brushed Sari alpaca. It's different, and the Sari is a different breed of alpaca, and they're softer, if I remember correctly from that talk. Just bought a pattern and realizing that the button band is rib, not double knitted. Oh no! What pattern is it? I really prefer double knitted as well, so I'd avoid the ribbed button bands. Danish Musing Podcast, she's avoiding mohair. Oh yeah, I do follow her, and I really, really like her color choices and everything, and pattern choices. I think she's used mohair a few times, but... And with great success, like it looked amazing. Her color combinations when she uses mohair for layering are amazing. She once marled a purple and a green, and it worked. I swear. That was amazing. So yeah. I guess that's the thing that you miss when you don't use mohair, is you don't have as much the ability to play with color like that, unless you're using Suri or a mohair alternative like Midnight Soul. But if you're just holding yarn double, like a fingering held double, you can't really get those nice ethereal effects. But that's fine. It's a trend to not use mohair, and a lot of podcasters are trying not to use it. Well, yeah, I can't wait then to see that happen over the next few months. And especially coming out with new designs, it would be nice if not only podcasters, but if pattern designers could stop having the mohair trend. That would be nice. But I know when they collaborate with yarn companies as well, they try and promote as many strands to hold together as possible. Like the new Isayer collection that's coming out, the Archives collection, you can already tell that the patterns are going to have like, oh, for this you need to buy 5 different types of yarns to make it. And it's so fair, like fair play to them. If I had a yarn company, that's probably what I would do as well. But it's probably going to take a while for like people's takes on projects will emerge and come out. Like by the time that the patterns come out, everybody's going to use the same yarn as them. But maybe in a while we'll have different substitutions, and that's when I'm gonna maybe then do them, because I don't think I'm gonna jump on the Archives collection when it comes out. I'll probably wait to see what other people do first, because I'm a sheep. Let's see what else. Still debating if I should go to the yarn festival in Berlin this year. It was pretty cute last time. Go for it. What's stopping you? What kind of yarn combination can have the same effect? The silk makes the drape and the fluff smoothes the stitches. Well, yeah, like Suri alpaca. Some of the dyers now are selling a base that's 400 meters, same as mohair is also 400 meters per 100 grams from the hand dyer. So it's not even that thick anymore. So I'd recommend using a hand dyed Suri that's 400 meters. And then if not, I recommend Midnight Soul or Manistral, because they also both have silk in it. I think Holzgarn just came up with a new mohair substitute or alternative. I can't remember what it's called, but they just came out with it. I think there's a discount right now actually on their website. I was going to check that out. And it has silk and merino and yak. So the yak is going to be beautiful. Very moody, I think. It's in Birmingham, so slap bang in the middle of England. Well, I'll look into it. Never say never. Mohair helps to create a flawless fabric for me. Oh, I know, yeah. Darker mohair blocking, perfect stitch definition. I will say, yeah, a lot of my projects that have mohair, even if I can't wear them, they look amazing, but I decided I'd prefer having a garment that's like a little less nice looking, but that I wear because I like the feel on me. Yeah. Although, yeah, no, I really do feel like it's nice to look at the fabric it creates and liking how perfect it looks. Definitely don't feel that way about all of my sweaters. But like I say, I'm going to try and maybe improve my tension this year. Am I going to go to the New Yarn Festival in April in Edinburgh? Woolly Good Gathering? Yes, absolutely. I'd love to. I probably will go on the Friday. I think it's Friday and Saturday, so I'll try and go on the Friday. Have you been to a lot of yarn festivals? I think I went to 4 last year. I went to 3 of them in Perth. No, 2 of them in Perth. The Wool Producer Showcase. Oh, why is there balloons? What happened? Are you seeing this? I'm gonna wait to see if you can see that. Sorry. No, I don't know. The Wool Producer Showcase, then the Festival of Yarn. I went to the Tangled Gala Shields and then the Glasgow School of Yarn. So I think I went to 4 festivals. Yeah, you can see the balloons on the screen. What happened? Let me check the chat. Spent so much time planning on Ravelry, which I really enjoy, but trying to get better, not hold yourself to those plans, feeling disappointed when I do them. Oh, yeah, I can... oh, everybody saw the balloons. Yeah, I can relate to the feeling, like, I love making plans, but sometimes I... yeah, like, I'm putting the pressure on myself, even though, like, nobody's gonna die if I don't do that project, but sometimes I do feel like, oh no, I've just committed. Like, even putting it on the queue or obviously buying the yarn is a commitment, but sometimes I've had success in rejigging things around and shuffling and changing projects and, like, rotate everything, and then it works out, and then it feels really, really satisfying. So yeah, it's definitely, like, as long as you haven't cast on, everything is still possible, and even then, if you cast on, you can always undo. I've never frogged a project and reclaimed the yarn, so maybe that's gonna happen this year. Someone is working with lace alpaca. Yeah, I do like lace alpaca, even though it doesn't give a fuzz. Oh, the late summer cardigan. You couldn't tell from the pattern. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, your aunt owns alpaca and is gonna let you try spinning. That's amazing. Ross's, like, father has sheep. 2 sheep. They're like black nose Valais sheep. So their wool is not really good for yarn. I think it's good for, like, rugs. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not gonna be making any sweaters from the sheep that they own, but I would have liked to. It would have been cute. But I'm trying to convince them to get some Angora goats. Wait. Is that Angora goats? Is it the Angora rabbit? Are those 2 different things? I think there's 2 different things. Please tell me that I didn't just say something stupid. A book of yarn. Oh, okay, I'll take a photo of that because I also want to remember this. Oh, thank you. I like to knit more with different fibers, but it's difficult when I'm allergic to so many things, and trying new stuff is risky. I know, it is risky, isn't it? Because what if you buy it and then you don't like it? Oh, are the tickets already sold out for the Woolly Good Gathering? I think you could get tickets with the Kickstarter, but I thought that they were going to release tickets afterwards. Interesting about trends that at first mohair was out, now mohair is in. At least we can just hope that at some point it's going to be out again. It's just the way trends work. I wonder what else is going to be in. I know we were just talking about that lately, about trends, and it feels like this year what was trending were colors, not necessarily textures, although, like, the knits and pearls textures were quite trendy. But yeah, I feel like a lot of cables aren't really going to get out of fashion, but colors might. But then also the whole oversized look, maybe that's going to get out of fashion. I'm really not talking out of any sort of expertise here. I don't know fashion really well, and I don't really care about it either. It's not something that I like knitting because I like making my own clothes, because I like fashion, etc., and, like, what looks good on me and blah blah blah. I like knitting because I like crafting. It's just, like, a side effect is that then I get something to wear. But I'm much more about the manual, like, making stitches and having something beautiful to show for those hours, kind of like drawing. I really liked drawing before, because at the end I had a beautiful piece that I could show, like, this is what I spent time on. But I couldn't wear my drawings. Let's see what else. I'm kind of behind. Oh, Holst Lucia is their new mohair alternative. Yeah. Oh, that sweater number 18 looks like it's going to be amazing with the Camaros Midnight Sol. I really, really like that yarn. If anybody doesn't want their mohair, I'll happily take it. Well, actually, I'm destashing a lot on my Ravelry right now. I'll even put the... I'll cheekily put the link in the chat, because if anybody in the UK... I'm only sending in the UK. If anybody in the UK wants to buy any of my yarn, I'd happily send it to you. So yeah, I just put that in the chat. Thank you for looking in advance. Oh, what else? I don't mind the feeling of mohair, but I hate knitting with it and wearing it. I like knitting with it, I don't mind it, but I also feel like I wasn't that unlucky with mohair shedding. Like, I know it's funny, like every podcaster is always like, oh, I have mohair in my mouth, I have mohair everywhere. I never really had that. I don't know why my mohair stayed in place. I'm really lucky. So yeah, I know it can be a mess if you're having like light colored mohair on dark clothes and vice versa. So that's another benefit of just using merino wool. It doesn't shed, at least. Oh, I'm behind. Buxton Wool Gathering and Bakewell Wool Gathering in northern England. Okay, I'll take a little photo of this too. Because, yeah, now that Ross has a car as well, I wouldn't mind us driving. Last year we drove to, well, he drove to Tangled Galashiels at the bottom of the country, and that was really nice. It was such a good day. I'll try the Surrey silk. Oh yeah. I hope you have better luck with the Surrey than the alpaca then. Oldest project in the Ravelry queue is from 2015. Oh my god. Maybe you could just delete it and then nobody has to know. I actually went back to my queue. My queue on Ravelry is like 300 projects. It's not really a real queue. Like, I know some people only use it for like 5 projects at a time. I put everything there. So yeah, recently I went back and I actually deleted some projects from the queue, because I took a long, hard, realistic look, and I just realized some of them I had put on 2 years ago, and it was like, I'm just not gonna do them. And if I want to do them again, I'll just put them back on the queue on Ravelry. What do you do when you reach stitch gauge but not row gauge? Yeah, I would just lengthen those sections. Or apparently you can change the needle material, like wood versus metal, and that could help. But yeah, if it's about like the v-neck depth or the armhole depth, I'd recalculate the decrease rounds or increase rounds. And if it's about like sleeve decreases or body, I would also just recalculate, which is not the funnest thing, but... Oh, there's Angora goats and Angora rabbits. Yeah, thank you. That's what I thought. I think we met some Angora goats at the Edinburgh Royal Highland show. They had a bunch of rabbits as well. No, did they? They had chickens, goats, sheep, horses, cows, ducks, a llama. That was so nice. I pet the llama. Those things are so weird. Like, they're so disproportionate. I don't like it. But they were soft. Anyway, working on jacket number 1. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I've seen recently Caroline from Caroline's Knits has made one, and she says she lives in it. And it looks really nice. So I don't think I'll make it, because I'm still not a huge fan of the knit pearl texture on me. I like how it looks on other people. I like the look of the sweater number 18. I just don't think I like it. And I think part of that is because of my failed tourney slip over. It kind of put me off that texture. So I'm saying no to that for the foreseeable future. But I do like the v-neck oversized jacket with double knitted button band. So I definitely want to make the pearl jacket or just remake the champagne cardigan. Because right now the only thing I have like that is the champagne cardigan and it has mohair. So yeah, I'd like to make another big jacket. I think I'm going to make cardigan number 8 next though, which will also fill that gap. So I'm excited for that. Oh, the Berlin Festival is sold out. Okay. Plan to frog 3 or 4 projects and you didn't wear. Yeah, definitely. I think that's something I've not had the guts to do, but it would really be a good idea to just repurpose the yarn, and then you'd feel so proud for taking that step and for actually using the yarn afterwards. There's a project right now I'm really feeling lukewarm about. It was in my Hibernating Whips. It's the Bibliophile by Alicia Plummer. It's in fingering weight Kinross 4-ply. I'm not a fan. The more I think about it, the more I think I should just frog it. Because right now my thinking is that I should finish it, and then once it's finished, make the decision of whether I want to keep it or not. Because in the grand scheme of things, like, most of it is pretty done. But it's fingering weight, so it's still like a lot of knitting. But now I'm thinking, do I just frog everything and do a fingering weight sweater that I actually would like? I just really wanted to like this one, but I'm not enjoying it. So the more I think about it, the more I think I would actually be prouder of making that step and frogging this half-finished project. Oh, should we do that? It's been almost a year since I cashed it on. I think it was in March. But yeah, I'm not finding a lot of fingering weight sweater patterns that I like. Okay, what else? Got a first sweater quantity of Let Low P. I heard it was rustic, but whoa, it's like rope. Yeah, I know. I have some. I was going to make a pillow out of it because it was just so rustic. It's like so dry. So I don't know if it softens actually. Could I show the inside of the sweater I'm working on? Yeah. So it'll look actually quite different than other things, guys, because I did leather bag jacquard. If you don't know, it's a technique in which you create this like hidden stitch behind the long float and you trap all your yarn in that stitch instead of catching it, which then creates like a vertical line within them. So, and also my tension is super loose, so I don't think that everybody's sweaters look like that, but it's not too bad. The top was definitely better, and then at the end it became a bit of a mess. So you can see the leather bag jacquard at the bottom of the sweater. See those things like the... Oh, this is really hard. Like that, the white here, that's leather bag jacquard. And then the beige in the middle of the triangle. But as you can see, my color work is anything, like, it's so stretchy, guys. Like, I'm so loose. So if this was a sock, like, I'd have no problem putting it on. So yeah, no, it's not too bad actually when you think about it. Okay, that's it. I think that's what you wanted to see. What else? You knitted a whole yoke of a Sari Nordlund cable and then frogged it. Never felt so strong. Oh, which one was it? Already bought some of your destash on Ravelry. Oh, thank you, Sue. Yeah, I remember. That's great. I'm glad that... Is that the one that you... Did you buy this week? Because I sold a lot this month. I think I sent 2 parcels in the post yesterday, so if it was one of your orders, then you should get it this next week. Was it the merino cone? I think it was... You were the merino cone. I just sent that yesterday. Oh, the Una socks. I knitted that. I did like it a lot. Although it took me ages to do the second one, but I think it was a really good lace pattern for beginners. And I think lace as well, it helped with the fit, because it's kind of like ribbing. It's stretchy because of all the yarn overs. So I really like the fit of my Una socks. They fit like a glove. It's pretty rare to see Angora in yarn nowadays. Yeah, that's true. I think I've seen a couple of brands do it. I really like my bibliophile, a good basic. Oh, that's good for you. I think maybe my gauge, I think I remember the row gauge being all over the place, and she had a compound raglan, and I think like the math just wasn't mathing, where even though I was doing the same steps that she was saying, I wasn't getting the same effect. So there's a bunch of puckering at the yoke. Yeah, there was just a weird bunch at the shoulder. But I'll have a hard look at this and see where I want to go with that. I also butchered the turtleneck, so yeah, I'm really not happy about this project, but I think I'm gonna give up. Onling has merino and angora. What's making you second guess the bibliophile? Yeah, so yeah, basically there's a problem with the bunching at the raglan. I've also realized I'm not a huge raglan fan anymore anyway. They don't fit my body as much as well as I want them to, like this construction does. Like, I love this so much. I think if I could find some saddle shoulder, set-in sleeve, English tailored sleeve, anything like that for fingering weight, like that would be me sorted forever. Because I have a drop shoulder fingering and I have a raglan fingering as of like now, and I really prefer the drop shoulder one. And then, like I said, I messed up the turtleneck because I picked up enough to do a turtleneck, did half of the turtleneck, gave up halfway through, and just folded it to make like a double folded neck. But it's just wrong. Like, too many stitches were picked up. It's a weird length. It looks awful. It doesn't cinch in. Like, it just puckers out. It's awful. I'll try it on at some point and I'll show you guys on Instagram or something because it's bad. I don't know whose fault it is. Like, I think it's just maybe a problem of gauge and a problem of, like, yeah. I didn't know how to make it work for me. Like, I didn't know how to alter it to make it better. Oh yeah, a cone. Yeah. Then yeah, you're gonna get it soon. I enjoy mohair, but I would love it if designers would list 2 sets of recommendations. I know! I totally agree. Someone was talking about that recently on the Discord, where they were designing a hat and they were thinking of what they should use as a second yarn combination for their like second sample. And in the end, they kind of landed on, if one sample is with mohair, then the second sample doesn't have mohair, because that really shows people, like, first of all, how the stitch pattern can look like with and without mohair. And then second of all, different affordability options, different yarn recommendations. Like, I know you can always substitute and you can always make that call yourself, but it's so much better when the designer themselves can vouch for that, especially if having mohair is such an essential part of the design. Then they can tell you that with confidence. Or if it's not, and it was just an artistic decision or choice, but it's not inherently what makes the pattern, then I'd also like them to be able to, like, say that and say, like, this was done with mohair, but you can also do it without and it would look just as good. Here's an example. So yeah. Oh, you frogged the Aoide jumper. It was from her book. Oh, that's a shame. I liked the cable sweaters from the book. So is there any reason you frogged it? Was it just not fitting you well? It looks great, much neater than I would imagine. Thank you for showing. Thank you. The trick as well is to always hold the floats in a consistent way. So I always, like in this sweater anyway, like I was always using the contrasting color as my dominant color so that it would stand out more. And so that means that in the color work floats at the back, it's always like either at the top or at the bottom. So like the lines are parallel, it never crosses over, which would not look as good, I think. But yeah, floats are always nice to look at, aren't they? I still need to weave in the ends. Oh, your boyfriend is watching too and he's enjoying the stream. Hello! Glad you're enjoying the stream. I feel like I've been like talking non-stop, but it's nice. It's nice to get all the thoughts out. I hope you guys don't think it's too manic or too rushed or too fast. I felt like that in the first stream as well, where I feel like I was just talking non-stop. I don't know. I guess I do want to address like everything that's happening in the chat and I don't want to ignore people. But for the 12-hour stream, I couldn't talk back to everyone. Otherwise, I would have burnt out after like 2 hours. One more round and I'm decreasing. Split for sleeves on the Billy and frog because I was convinced it was too small. Oh, that hurts. I kind of had the Billy on my list, but now I'm thinking of doing the Billy cardigan instead. But yeah, that looks like such a beast. So well done you for frogging if you had a feeling it wouldn't work. Oh, Nixian, I'm sorry, the links are, or like the messages are getting deleted. Do you have an idea why? Oh, I can view the deleted message actually. Alright. Oh, St. Magnus yarn, I bought it in Orkney. Anyone has a cowl suggestion for Angora wool yarn with another one for the front? Don't know. Example of 2 possibilities for yarn is the ginger hat from Adorable Knits. Oh, that's nice. Hi Vanissia, I hope you're having a good weekend. Yes, thank you. Hope you too. Yeah, today we had the photo shoot. It was really nice. I was way less nervous than the first time. And then yesterday we went to see the Little Shop of Horrors in the evening, which was good. I kind of had a sore throat at the end of last week. I was supposed to go to virtual knit night, but I was just like wanting to rest my voice because it was really painful to swallow, etc. And I kind of wanted to rest on Saturday, and then my boyfriend was like, do you want to go see Little Shop again? And I was like, oh, but we just saw it. Would it be crazy to go see it again? And he was like, come on, it was so good. And it really was so good. It was a student production, but it felt so professional. Like, they were amazing. So we went again. He drove us. It was like an hour drive because you have to go right through the center of Edinburgh, and it was very, it's so annoying when you only have like a mile to drive, but it takes you so long because you mentally feel like you could have just walked there. But yeah, anyway, I had a good weekend. It was busier than what I thought it would be, but I feel good at the end of it. Like, I feel like I achieved things, went places, talked to people, put makeup on, took in the fresh air. But yeah, I hope you guys also had a good weekend wherever you are. I feel like a lot of you guys are in Europe and the UK. I could be wrong, but I hope you're having a nice relaxing time before the week. And then if you're in the US and Canada, I hope maybe you have some plans for the rest of the day. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. I might make a milkshake and then knit, obviously. Yeah, I'm still trying to finish a lot of the projects before casting on, even though it's really tempting to cast new things. Actually, I made a little short list of what I want to cast on next. And I think I'm going to do a Fair Isle scarf in the round, which will take a while, but I'd like to get it started because I have all the colors ready. Here's my little box of Jameson. They kind of look all muted and dark, but there is some contrast. Mary Wallen is a genius at picking colors, and I'm not doubting her. I'm not changing a thing. I'll be using exactly what she prescribes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to making that little scarf. Although some people have said that the scarf is actually too little, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna add a repeat. So obviously it will take even longer. So I think that's going to be on the horizon. Then I'm going to be doing one of the cardigans from Sari Nordlund's new book, Urania. I've already swatched for it and it works. So that's going to be really nice in a navy blue and midnight sole from Camarose, as we were talking about. And then I think I'm going to be making the beret I was telling you about in my plans, because it should be really fast and non-committal, and then I'm just gonna felt it to see if it works. Feels like it would be quite hard because of, like, even if you get the fit right pre-felting, will it felt and shrink in the exact same way that My Favorite Things Knitwear thought it would? So anyway, I think the pattern comes in 3 different sizes. I just don't know if it's gonna work, but it'll be an experiment, and I said I would, so I will do it. Has anybody ever tried felting like slippers or felting a beret? Let me know. I feel like maybe I'll make the felted slippers for Ross for Christmas next year. The double tufflers by Sendis Garn, it's a free pattern. Working from home and having a mostly indoor knitting hobby, I didn't realize how much I'm in the house. It's good to just get outside sometimes. That is so true. I spend so much time indoors, guys. I really have to force myself to get out sometimes. Which is why I feel like it was a good weekend this weekend and very energizing to have things to do and places to be, people to see. Otherwise I wouldn't have gone out. So yeah. Oh, it's nice and sunny in Denmark. That's lovely. Vancouver, 12:30, done your errands and hoping to knit for the rest of the day. That is perfect. That's the place that you want to be at. I also am more of a morning person, so I like to do things in the morning and then I can relax for the afternoon. Ross is the opposite, which, it doesn't work like that. Would Ross and you ever want to get a pet? Yeah, we would, but it's not really a talking point until we get out of rented accommodation. In the UK, it's really not something that they let you do as a general rule, unless you're extremely lucky. So yeah, it's nice fantasizing about it, but it's not realistic or likely, so not in the near future, sadly. When I finish a couple of wins, I'll be casting on the Sevan for my partner. Oh, that's nice. Local yarn shop has started stocking Spindrift. That's amazing. I love this yarn. It's my favorite colorwork yarn ever because it makes my tension so amazing and I'm so proud of it. I've actually recently made a pair of mittens. One is blocked and one isn't. So those are the Scaries mitten by Mari Wallen, and it was using like half of these colors. So yeah, first look, guys. How beautiful is this? Yes. Love it. Love them so much. They had a bit of flat knitting as well for the thumb opening, which was not fun, but it was only like 6 rows of purling. Hello from Brussels. Oh, hello. I'm from Belgium, so Brussels has my heart. Beret number 3. Yeah, that's the one. Trick is to swatch. Oh, of course. Of course. I wasn't even going to swatch. I was going to be lazy. So thank you. Maybe I'll swatch tonight after the stream and then shove it in the wash tomorrow. I want to practice color work, planning to make Mari Wallen cowl, Annerdale, and then the burra. Yes, I really want to make the Nelly cowl. I wear my burra all the time. Like literally wore it today for the photo shoots. Obviously not during the photos, but I cannot recommend Spindrift and Mari Wallen enough. It's just a match made in heaven. Such a relaxing way to spend the end of your weekend. Oh, next week is your 2nd semester of uni. Oh, DALF C1 exam for French and a million doctors. Good luck. Good luck. I kind of miss being a student. I liked being a student. I wasn't a knitter during my student years, but if I was, I would have had so much fun with all the free time. You could get yourself a high energy dog. You'll be out, rain and shine every day. Oh, no, yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't want a dog, because I don't think I have it in me to go out every day, even though I know it would be better for me. I don't know if I can handle that kind of responsibility, so that's probably why it's best we don't get one right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, guys, we almost missed a decrease. We talk, but are we getting any knitting done? Yes. I hope you guys are getting some knitting done tonight. Probably more than me. Whenever I talk, I stop knitting. I'm so bad at multitasking. Like I said before, I can only do stockinette in the round if I'm doing anything, except if it's a TV show that I've already seen. Had a goal this month to get fresh air on purpose more often. It's been so good for your mental health. Oh, I know. That would be good. Usually January is so rough, but this month has been decent. I'm really happy for you, and everybody who says that like they try this, it made them feel better. I think I just like my walks to have a purpose, and usually the purpose is like get yourself a nice little treat, some coffee or some scones or milkshakes, and that would be expensive if I did that every time. So I need to get more used to the fact that you can go on a walk and not get a little treat. But then what's the point? I know. I would like to retrain myself to go out of that mindset. So yeah, good for you. Just cast on a terracotta sweater. Ooh, is that out yet? I knew she was teasing it for a while. But yeah, you must be one of the first ones to do it then. It looks great. I do like the mosaic type of motif that was on it when I saw it on Instagram. Want to work on some cardigans? Oh, for sure. 100%. Oh, hi Tarnits. Hello. How do you knit ribbing inside out? Yeah, I can explain that. 1 second, I'll just read the comments. Spindrift feels like you're knitting with itchy barbed wire. Yeah, Spindrift is like so dry and so thin. Like when you look at that, well, you're not going to be able to see. But like, it's really thin and stringy and rough and inelastic and coarse and all of those adjectives. But then once you block it, it softens up so much and it's really plush and squishy. Like, I feel like it doubles in thickness somehow. Like all the fibers that were spun, they just completely bloom and fill the gaps if you had any gaps. It's magic. Like that and Kinross 4-ply are the two yarns that have the most like before and after type of glow up in my book. Mittens are stunning. Oh, thank you. I find a Spindrift itchy. Like, I probably would find it itchy as a sweater, the same as this, where I would notice it's there, but if I was outdoors, I'd love it. Like, as mittens and as a cowl, I really like them because usually, like, it's really windy and cold, so I love having that big Burra cowl barrier that I can, like, put my whole face in it, in the cowl, and I feel so protected. So I would really like a big Fair Isle jumper that I could just walk in without having a jacket on. But it wouldn't be something that I just chill in my living room, that I'm like cozy in. And also, I feel like, again, like, I find mohair itchy, and I've realized now that there's not enough pros of mohair that I'm willing to wear it anyway. But with Spindrift, I think that there are enough pros that I would be willing to combat the itchiness and accept the itchiness because it would be worth it for Spindrift as opposed to mohair. Personally, in my journey, that's where I'm at. You're making felted slippers. You've learned the shrinking range of your washing machine. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's the point where I want to be at. You can felt by hand. Oh, yeah, I guess. But I think I'm gonna just shove them in the washing machine. I should get a cat. Yeah, I think I'd rather get a cat. I'd really love a nice little indoor cat and we'd be best friends. Any good UK yarn recommendations to check out? Going to London in 2 weeks and planning to visit some yarn stores. If you go to Knit with Attitude, they have a lot of UK brands. Like John Arbon, they have them in person, which is really good to see the color depth in real life. The photos are quite good and they capture it, but it's nothing like seeing them in person. Then Valentina, in my ivory room, she has a lot of Scandi brands, but depending on how hard these are to get in Belgium, then like maybe you don't need to get them. If you can get Spinrift, I think Loop London stocks them, or they stock some Jameson and Smith, I think. Loop London also has a bunch of UK brands specifically, but I'll message you on Insta maybe later to talk about UK brands, because I get asked this question a lot, and I think I'd like to maybe make a video about it. Maybe when I make my Edinburgh yarn shop tour, I'll talk about UK brands that I recommend if you're in the UK, because if you're coming in for like a week, you could get something like delivered to your hotel. Like, you don't even need to go to the shops in person. That's what I would do. If I went to America, I'd get a huge order from like Pearl Soho or whatever delivered to my hotel, and then I'd go to whatever local yarn shop was there. But yeah, hope that helped. In October, I needed a storm sweater, have a ton of extra yarn left over, so you want to make a matching one for your dog. Oh, bless! That's amazing. Recently, Emma from the Thanks I Made It podcast made a Ursa Canis for her dog. I think in red. She participated in the pomegranate cal by making a dog sweater, and it looks stunning, so maybe that's a good pattern. Binding off a lace shawl at the moment. Good luck. Almost done with the sleeve. Oh, that's great. Well done. I am not. Going on walks and listening to audiobooks is nice, but I also get a warm drink, and in the UK it's expensive. I know, right? the day that Starbucks made their drinks more than £5 a drink, like, I just gave up. Nothing in the world is worth that, especially when you start buying yarn and you're like, £5 could be like a bowl of double Sunday. So if I just wait for like 5 days, I could get a t-shirt quantity. I need to stop thinking about yarn. Okay, I've done my decrease. My cats are always next to me while I knit, and they watch podcasts with me too. Oh, like right now. My sleeve is progressing. It's so gloomy here in Massachusetts. Staying in all day, and this is perfect. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad you are enjoying that, and that sounds like such a relaxing picture. Finished another square on your sweet shop blanket. Ah, that's amazing. Working on the Frankie Genser by Sandnes Garn, knitting with Snefnug. Oh, yay! I've got Sandnes Garn Kos for that one, I think. I think the Frankie Genser came in 2 different versions in that pattern booklet, didn't it? There was one with fingering and mohair, and one in like a iron weight. I don't actually know if they're the same gauge. I have the booklet here, but knowing myself, I won't even land on that page, and I can't edit this because it's a stream. Terracotta Sweater is out, but not on Ravelry yet, only on her website. Ooh, yeah, so you're really early then. Do you think it's gonna blow up like the porcelain sweater did? I'm knitting on the Levi Pullover by Sari Nordlund, and I'll show you what I've got. Oh my god. Is that a different dye lot? I hope not. I've blocked the yoke, so the sleeve is looking like a different color, but maybe it's just the texture is different. Ta-da! Oh, guys, it's gonna be such a cool, like, winter... The neck is annoying. It's gonna be such a cool winter sweater! Look at that. Look at that puckering! Like, this is how loose this is, and blocked, and then this is all tight. I really hope that it blocks out. But yeah, sweater. Okay. Where were we? One in Kos and one in Borska alpaca. Oh yeah, okay, thank you. I also think about prices and amounts of yarn. It makes me shop way less. Yeah, like all the little purchases, they really do add up. And it's like, I'd rather save up for a sweater quantity later. Oh, sorry. I always bring my homemade fancy coffee in a travel mug. Yeah, I think I could do that with my milkshakes. I thought I was the only one who measured the amount of money I waste on food and how much yarn I could possibly get. Well, that's great. We found our people. Good night. I'm so late. Oh, that's okay. I guess I'm probably gonna stay for 15 more minutes. Please make the UK brand video. Yeah, I think I would really like to do that because I really don't like the fact that I don't have an answer ready when people ask me, and at this point, people have asked me too many times for me to not make one. I'm in the UK right now, gonna get some Erica Knight and a West Yorkshire Spinner. Yeah. West Yorkshire Spinner sock yarn is the best. Oh, it's so cute, beautiful. Thank you, guys, for the compliments on the on that. What helped me get my butt out of the house for walks was when my mental health was bad. Pick up a really happy, cute book that I was only allowed to listen to while I was going on your sad little girl walks. Yes, that's a really good idea. Something that would be specifically for the walks that you then look forward to them. I think that's an excellent idea, and I'm going to steal that. I don't want to use Audible for audiobooks, though. I think somebody has recommended to me the Libby app, where you can borrow books from your library. So I think that would be a good way for me to do audiobooks without using Audible. I went shopping today and came home with nothing because every sweater I put on, I just thought, I could make that myself. I know! That is so relatable. I was also wondering about maybe going to a shop like H&M and then looking at the knitwear section and then taking inspiration from that as opposed to Instagram and Ravelry. Just, again, to maybe step out of the Instagram bubble of influence and everybody making the same 5 patterns over and over, which, like, no shade, everybody makes what they want to do. But I think it could be nice to, like, just get inspiration from elsewhere. I know some people get them from maybe movies or magazines. So yeah, maybe I should go in a real life shop, see what's trendy, or just what catches my eye, I guess. But usually what catches my eye is what's on the mannequins, aka what they want you to buy. Again, capitalism and being influenced easy. But I like sometimes when people make those videos of, matching patterns with high fashion items. I've never really thought I could do that type of video justice, so I don't know if I would make a video from it. But I could just go for myself. Libby app is amazing. Oh, great, okay. Great. And then Borrow Box app. I got my cuff down, so good use of time. Well done. How do you figure out what type of season you are? Yeah, someone told me, but there is an app that you can put a photo of yourself on, but it's not the most accurate because it'll so depend on the lighting. So I just recommend maybe asking your family members or like people who know you in all different types of lighting, and like you ask, am I more of a cool tone or a warm tone? Maybe get a celebrity from each of the categories and ask them what celebrity you look the most like. I think you just need some kind of starting point and then you like travel from there. First time joining the stream and I'm late to the party. I will join more often though. I joined the Discord. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. It's been really, really great to chat with you guys like that. Like, I feel like I've been able to chat with you guys in the Discord and I've really enjoyed that for those like quick little chats and updates. I also post on Instagram in the stories and then people chat to me from there, which I also really like. Like day to day, it's so nice to have little chats every now and then. And then this was just really good for... I mean, you guys have kept me company because I was alone here tonight. And I hope that I kept you company. And it was good as well for motivation because now that I've cast on this second sleeve, this jumper feels much more close to being done. So yeah, it was like we were all knitting together. Oh, that was really cheesy. Cats are wonderful. Ours will comfort the kids when they're upset. Oh, sit and wait for us when we return home. Oh, stop it. I really want a cat now. I mean, I always do, but I'm also allergic, actually. So that's an issue. Anyway. Oh, you won yarn chicken. That's great. I lost mine. Oh, that's less great. Next story. Not sure if it's available everywhere. Okay. Just one more thing on the felting, always use the same size of load of clothes with it. Okay, yeah. I'll definitely just put it with a normal wash. Really like the lives, the interactive format helps so much. Oh, I'm glad you think so too. Like I said before, I'm always wondering if people would like it as much as they would a knit night, because it's not the same where you can't really interact as much from your perspective, even though I can. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys came for the live, and like I said at the start, even if you never sent a message or anything, if you were just listening in the background and you got something from that, I'm really glad that you did, and there's no pressure to participate or interact, but I'm really thankful for those of you who did interact, and it's really nice to see the familiar names and to have conversations, and I hope that this was interesting or relaxing or entertaining. Definitely feel like 2 hours is probably a good place to stop, because the throat doesn't need to get worse. I need to drink water. I'm surprised I kept my jumper on the whole time. I thought I was gonna overheat, but I'm okay, and I think part of it is because I just love seeing myself in it. Like, I just like seeing the shoulder here. I hope maybe this motivates people to get the Rue sweater when it comes out on Friday, I think is the release date. So stick around for that. And then, yeah, I'll be making the louder vest very soon. I'm gonna order the yarn today, I think. Some cat demotivation. My cat ruined one pair of my knitting needles. No! That is my worry. I know Sarah from Handmade by Sarah, I think, has a cat that is hugely into destroying her yarn, and she seems quite frustrated by it. Like, every now and then she's like, my cat got into this, my cat got into that, and that gives me the fear. But obviously if you already have them, what can you do? You just have to love them. Yeah, 2 hours is much better than 12 for your voice. Yeah, for sure. But I was drinking way much more at the 12 hours. Update on the late summer wrap fiasco. I'm knitting the ballerina wrap. Oh yeah. That one is definitely double knit, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So I hope that you enjoy your final project and that you suffer through the double knitting knowing that it's going to be worth it for the final result. Cats seem to prefer wood needles. Lol. Oh, interesting. You definitely motivate me to buy the sweater on Friday. Oh, yay! It was really, really fun doing the photo shoot. I did feel a bit weird because I was the only one that had the unicolor version with no color work, so I did stand out a bit, but nobody made me feel weird about it. Like, nobody was making me... Yeah, I didn't feel like I was that weird, so... Just trying to find a photo. That was a photo from the shoot, so we all have our sweaters on. But yeah, so that was my second photo shoot with Rebecca. Maybe for the louder, let's put it out there. I hope to get invited again, and then I'm just gonna keep doing that. I really find that enjoying and rewarding, and I know I'm really privileged and lucky. I mean, not everybody lives next door to a designer. Yeah, where was I going with that? I don't know. She does a knit night. Well, she doesn't host it. She goes to a knit night. That's really far away from where I live, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that far away. And I've been really tempted to go like all year since last year, and I never go. But I really want to go and say hi to her knit night. Maybe in the summer when it's like not as dark in the evenings, I can go. Yeah, I don't know why I just said that, but I guess now I've committed. Yeah, I think it's time to go soon, guys. Such a lovely knit and chat. You should do it again, Vanissia. Oh, thank you, Steph. Yeah, I'll definitely do it again. Last one was in November, and then here it's January. So maybe in March seems to be a good enough like gap to have enough time so people can miss me, and then you can see me in the live, as opposed to like live streaming every week, which I don't think anybody would want that. I watch a weekly live knitting podcast, and I really like the interactive format. Everyone sharing and asking, answering questions is great. Yeah, and I really like it when sometimes people ask questions in the chat and like somebody else replies or something, like, especially if I'm late, like I'm lagging behind or something. So it's good that you guys can answer each other. Looks like the arrow sweater written without the color work. What is the gauge? Good question. Let me check. Uh, 20 stitches. So kind of classic DK for the Rue sweater. It's good to be different. It's great to see the sweater without color work. It's like you're getting two sweaters in one. Yeah, Rebecca was saying that, and she only made one sample of this sweater, but she was saying that she has yarn to maybe make a unicolor version of her own, all in red. So I hope she does it. It would be really great to see that. But yeah, I hope that maybe when the pattern is released and lots of people start doing it, maybe someone's gonna do it in unicolor, and I'll feel like I inspired someone. My dog loves to lay his head on my knits. It's so sweet, but it makes it very difficult to move the projects. Oh, guys, that sounds so cute. I love my cats, but my girl only targets my expensive yarn as if she can tell the quality difference. That is such a cat thing to do. Not sure I'm confident in my color work to do the Rue yet. Actually, we were talking about that today at the photo shoot, is the fact that maybe the sweater is less beginner friendly because the fit, like the construction is different than usual. And then normally you're also playing with color work. So if you're having issues with one and having to modify that, you have to account for the other. So for example, a lot of people had to change needle size for the color work, but then that meant that maybe gauge was different. And then some people didn't have the right gauge, so they had to add more rounds for the yoke depth, but then that meant that the color work was affected with that. So I think Rebecca is going to write things in the pattern about those kind of modifications that you might have to do to fit yourself. And how to account for the fact that like there's color work that needs to start at a certain point and there's a certain yoke depth that needs to be achieved, etc. So it's definitely something that will be interesting with color work and a saddle contiguous construction, is it's not as easy as drop shoulder or a raglan. So yeah, it might be a bit more of a challenging pattern, and I hope I'm not speaking like out of turn, or I think Rebecca will be saying that in the pattern description or in the pattern, is that like this might be a little more tricky than beginner for those reasons. So yeah, if you're up for the challenge, it's really, really pretty with the color work, but also if you just want my version without the color work, it's even easier. I saw the photos on Instagram and you all looked like you were having a great time. Love all the different ages. I know, I really like that too. Ever since her first photo shoot, Maggie is a person from Rebecca's Knit Night, and she's been test knitting and doing the photo shoots for like almost all of the sweaters, and it's really great, like she loves it. And it's really nice to see the sweaters on different ages, body shapes, and everything, and hopefully like in the future even more diversity, like in different aspects of diversity, will be shown in pattern project pages, etc. And I like that Rebecca also has males sometimes be the models of some of her sweaters, like even like the first photo of the pattern is a male. I think that can be really effective to to help convince her partners, like, see, it's a man's sweater. But yeah, anyway. It's good that there was a unicolor in the photo shoot because Rebecca herself makes plain versions of a lot of her sweaters. Yeah. She just said that she didn't really get a chance to do a second version of this one, but I was transparent with her from the start, saying that if I was going to test knit, I would just do the unicolor version. But yeah, I think that's going to be good for this now. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you again so much for coming. Obviously, if I do another stream, I'll like say it in advance. I'll say it on Instagram and I'll say it on YouTube. Like I said, there's not going to be any video tomorrow because I didn't film one. And And then the next one is going to be huge because I have so many finished objects. In fact, let me count on Ravelry. We have 8 finished items as of now. It might become 9 if I finish this by next time. So I will think of a non-overwhelming way of filming that. But I hope it'll be entertaining for you guys. And what else? Yeah, I'm just gonna chill tonight, and next weekend Ross is working, so I don't think we'll have much to do. I'll probably film the podcast then, when I have the house to myself, and then I'll probably just post the podcast episodes next Monday then in February. But yeah, happy knitting, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Good night, or good afternoon, and yeah, take care. Bye.